Good afternoon and welcome to this Thursday, February 7th edition of Westman Newsline. I'm Randy Joseph Lilly alongside Paul Chuchmuch and Colton Yarich. In today's news, a Brandon man is facing charges for breaking and entering, and more information is being sought in the killing of a Manitoba deer named Bambi. And Paul will be in with sports. Paul, I understand the Wheat Kings enjoyed a victory at home last night.
That's right, Randy. The Wheats are home for a 7-game stand and kicked things off with a win against Lethbridge last night. I'll have that story and more later on in sports.
Thanks, Paul. And Colton will be in with weather. Colton, I understand that weather-wise, we have a beautiful weekend ahead of us.
Anybody who goes outside tonight may be transformed into Frosty in just a few minutes. Currently in Brandon, there's light snow falling and the temperature is -16, but feels like -25 with the wind chill. That's it for now, but stay tuned. I'll be back with all your full weather details later on in the show.
Thanks, Colton. A Manitoba man faces charges after a break-in that may have grown out of a fight over a damaged fence. Police say they were called to a home in Brandon on Tuesday when a caller complained that a man had kicked open the front door, barged in, and knocked over her television. When she confronted him, the man left but returned while officers were talking to her. Police say the man appeared drunk and was belligerent, so they arrested him. They think the break-in may be related to a dispute earlier in the day between a man and the caller's sister after she backed into his fence. A 32-year-old Brandon man is to appear in court on April 2nd on charges of break, enter, and mischief to property. Manitoba's conservation minister has ordered a review into why wildlife officers killed a young deer at a Hutterite colony, as some members who had raised the animal watched in horror. Gord McIntosh says the officers may have been insensitive in their handling of the situation at the Windy Bay colony. Members of the colony had found the newborn fawn about a year ago and were feeding it and letting children and pets play with it. Conservation manager Jack Harrigan says he understands that a small deer is cute, but when it's full grown with antlers, it can be a serious danger to people. He says the public needs to understand that taking wildlife in is most often a death sentence, one way or another, for the animal. Many students from Assiniboine Community College rely on public transportation to get to and from school. Westman Newsline looked into some of the problems that students have with the service. One of the benefits to being a student at Assiniboine Community College is the U-Pass. As part of their tuition, students may use their student card to ride Brandon Transit for free. However, no system is perfect. Sheena Zazitko is a student at ACC who has only been taking the bus for 2 months, and she loves the fact she has access to the entire city. She just wishes they would run 7 days a week.
Maybe offering Sunday hours, so a lot of people are stuck at home on Sundays, I find.
When the buses do run, there is a bit of a concern as to the unpredictability of the schedule. The buses do attempt to be on time, but according to Ethan McIver, a second-year student at ACC, they don't always succeed.
Late on a regular basis, and it's really hard to follow it. It has its own system.
In order for solutions to be found, the problems need to be raised. Timothy Sanderson, who is the City of Brandon's Director of Transport Services, wants people to contact him and not be the silent majority.
If that is a problem, even just on one occasion, we need to hear about it because that's something that we will investigate, we take very seriously, and we'll correct it. So call the number 729-2300 and we'll make sure that it's addressed.
With 5,000 ACC students riding the bus every month, it would serve Brandon Transit to try and correct those problems. However, according to Mr. Sanderson, the public needs to use its voice. For Westman Newsline with photographer Sarah Francis, I'm Randy Joseph Lilly. A woman from St. Eustache is Manitoba's newest millionaire. Diana Boyer's win came on a set-for-life ticket she bought at a grocery store in Ely, Manitoba. She says when she saw the 3 matching symbols on the winning ticket, her first thought was that there was something wrong, like the ticket had already expired. But the ticket was valid, and Boyer had the choice of collecting $1,000 a week for 25 years or a single payment of $1 million, and she decided to choose the latter. Boyer says she and her husband do not plan any big changes right off. She says they have a few bills to pay, but they want to take it all in and let the money collect some interest while they collect their thoughts. 1 year after a mild winter left many outdoor enthusiasts out in the cold, lower temperatures this season are a welcome change. A local skate shop has looked to teach younger Brandonites how to snowboard by way of a brand new snow park. Westman Newsline's own Brandon Priddy hit the slopes to file this report.
Buckling up is always necessary, especially at the Brandon Snowboard Club hosted by Senate Skate and Snow. The hill features everything you need to not only get riding, but also help you get towed up so you can get back to shredding. Jordan Ross teaches the kids here at the hill and has been working on this project for the past few years.
It's a private snowboard park that we've developed for our nonprofit snowboard club. So we run some programs here for different ages. One group's 10 to 15-year-olds, and the other one is a plus 16.
The hill also has an indoor shed thanks to the many years of fundraising and the grants they received for the development. Now riders can take a break and warm up next to the fire. While the snowboard club is only a short drive away, it has eliminated the need to go make a trip to go and ride.
Just the lack of having a place to ride myself. Like, I grew up in Brandon, hiking up the North Hill. We didn't really have any place to go, so if you can't get out to the hills, if you can't make it 2 hours away, then at least we have something right in town now.
The hill may not be the biggest, but it has everything essential to provide an adequate snowboarding experience. For Westman Newsline, I'm videographer Brandon Pretty.
And now let's take a look at where today's money markets are currently sitting.
Westman Newsline, produced by the IMA Media Production students of Assiniboine Community College. Local news, weather, and sports on Brandon's only TV newscast, Westman Newsline, airing at 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on WCG TV.
With Valentine's Day quickly approaching, a love story about a union going 80 years strong, making a Connecticut husband and wife the longest married couple in the United States. Ali Reed has the details.
John and Ann Bitar have been married for more than 80 years. At 101 years old and 97 years old, respectively, they are the country's longest married couple.
Oh, we just fell in love, that's all. And
Can you believe that 80 years
80
later,
years,
here you guys are?
They said it wouldn't last.
They tied the knot on November 25th, 1932, and have been by each other's side ever since. So what's their secret?
80 years, it's just contentment.
Really living. I mean,
just
normally.
contentment. She's no problem. She's always never worked. She's always a cook, took care of her family. Good mother, great
And
mother.
he's always had his hand on my knee or my hair.
The happy couple met in Bridgeport. In fact, their houses were right here. They lived right across the street from each other. But their union almost never happened. That's because Ann's parents had arranged for her to marry someone else. That's when John and Ann took matters into their own hands and eloped.
We went to Harrison, New York. Yeah.
We didn't have any money to go any further.
They went on to have 5 kids, 14 grandchildren, and 16 great-grandchildren.
Your love grows, and it grows in very good directions for the two of us.
Their record-breaking union has meant the phone at their Fairfield house has not stopped ringing. John and Ann can't believe they hold the record.
Hope we live more.
Kind of surprised me there aren't any more.
Likely just months to live. A Minnesota teenager is making the most of it. The 17-year-old is fighting osteosarcoma, a type of cancer. But he's not letting that stop him from making his mark in song. He recently signed with a music giant and now has an upcoming concert. Carla Holt has the story.
Perhaps it's a hallmark of truly good music. Capturing the listener within the first notes, the first lyrics. No question 17-year-old Zach Sobiak has done that and more with his song, Clouds.
Yeah, I think we're at like 1.98-ish right now, that's nuts.
That's nearly 2 million hits on YouTube.
I was in New York to sign with BMI.
It's a dream for any aspiring musician, but this artist does indeed have a higher calling. For Clouds is but one of several songs written as a farewell to family and friends by a teen fighting osteosarcoma.
So I could be with them all day. Even when I'm gone, I'll still be with them.
But what started as a lyrical letter has continued as a poem for people around the world.
And they tell me that, I was inspiration to them, that they could keep fighting and they could keep going. And it's honestly unbelievable for me.
But perhaps not as unbelievable to Zach's mother.
The unique thing about Zach in this time of suffering is that he is not choosing to wallow.
Even as the family recently learned his tumors have tripled in size, Zach still soars. Soon with an upcoming concert benefiting an osteosarcoma research fund. Fitting for an artist still capturing the hearts of listeners the world over.
I had a little bit more.
That's it for news, but stay tuned. Colton's up next with Newsline weather.
Good afternoon. With Newsline weather, I'm Colton Yardage. It appears we will see an early spring, as indicated by a week ago by our furry little friend, based on the upcoming temperatures anyway. Currently in Brandon, it's partly cloudy and -15, but the wind chill makes it feel more like -19. This evening, expect a cloudy sky and a temperature of -14. Overnight, the temperature will actually warm up 1 degree to -13, but the clouds will stick around. Turning to our radar image now, as you can see, there's some precipitation in the Russell area that is not likely to roll into Brandon. But as you can see from our satellite image, there is some cloud cover that will make its way to Brandon in the coming days. Time for the 5-day forecast. Low temperatures under -10 are expected up until the middle of next week with light winds. Sunshine will fill the sky for the most part, except for the clouds scheduled for tomorrow and the flurries expected on Sunday. Now let's take a look around the region. Winnipeg -17, Portage la Prairie -14. Meanwhile, Dauphin sitting at -13. Neepawa and Carberry both in at -14. Killarney -15, as is Minnedosa, and Verdun will round us out at -13. Seasonal norms for this time of year are a high of -10 and a low of -21. The record high was set back in 1954 when we hit 4.4. The record low was established in 1994 when we recorded -37.4. Once again in Brandon, it's partly cloudy and -15, but the wind chill makes it feel more like -19. That's it for weather, but stick around. Paul's up next with Newsline Sports.
Good afternoon with Newsline Sports. I'm Paul Chujmuch. Curtis Honey made 36 saves to lead the Brandon Wheat Kings to a 4-1 victory over the Lethbridge Hurricanes on Wednesday in the Western Hockey League. Jens Mayer scored 2 goals for Brandon, while his line mates Taylor Cooper and Tim McGauley had 3 points each. John Quenville also scored for the Wheat Kings, who improved to 20-31-4. Ty Rimmer made 29 saves for Lethbridge. Shannon Burchard's Manitoba rink is the first to lock up a playoff spot at the Canadian Junior Curling Championships. Burchard advanced with an 8-5 win over New Brunswick's Jessica Daig that improved her to a record of 8-0. BC and Ontario clinched at least a tiebreaker. PK Subban's first goal of the season wasn't enough for the Montreal Canadiens. Tyler Seguin scored early in the third period, then assisted on David Krejci's winner less than 2 minutes later as the Boston Bruins beat the Habs 2-1. Tuukka Rask made 20 saves for the Bruins, who were outshot 11-4 in the first period. The win ended Montreal's 5-game home winning streak. Organizers of the Sochi Games are promising there will be enough snow during the Olympics, even if temperatures are in the subtropical region are high. The opening ceremony will be held in exactly 1 year. Temperatures reached 19 degrees Celsius today in Sochi. The game's head organizer says that Sochi's snowmaking system and other technologies will enable organizers to cope with any weather challenges. And Randy, that's it for sports.
Thanks, Paul. Now, we are 1 year away from the Sochi Olympics. I can't believe that so much time has passed between Vancouver.
Yeah, I know, and it really brought up Vancouver, brought up their morale and really did something for that community, so hopefully it does something for Sochi as well.
I certainly hope so. I mean, when you look at the Winter Olympics, it's always very exciting, but what are you most looking forward to?
Now that I've heard that they're more than likely going to have the NHL players going to Russia, I'm looking forward to the hockey games for sure.
Good stuff. And that's all the time we have for you today. Be sure to join us again next Tuesday for Brandon's only TV newscast, Westman Newsline.